David Dobrik started his new business venture this weekend with the official opening of Dobrik's Pizza, and the turnout was actually shocking. People were camping out overnight, the line was massive. It went all the way down the road for ages, and so far, people actually have good things to say about it. But that doesn't mean the opening happened without some drama. For the past 2 years, David has been talking about his plans for opening a pizza joint in LA. Back in 2020, he purchased an old Starbucks location right on Sunset Boulevard, and this past weekend, he finally opened the doors to Dobrik's Pizza, and it was insane. There were these two guys from TikTok who actually camped out for 24 hours to buy the first slice ever sold and make a special gift for David's opening.
So David Dobrik's new pizza shop opens tomorrow, and I wanted to get the very first slice ever sold, so me and my friends decided to camp out so that nobody beats us to it. So we set the tent up, and we fit in perfectly in LA. The pizza shop doesn't open for another 24 hours, so we kept ourselves busy, and now we're going to bed, so stay tuned because we're going to do something very special with the first slice ever sold.
And you would think camping out for 24 hours at a pizza place would be more than enough to achieve that, but it wasn't. There was actually someone there who camped out for 4 days.
But then there was this guy who had been camping out for 4 days and beat us to it. Luckily, I was able to make a deal with him and obtain the first slice ever sold. And it was time to run off with it because we're surprising David Dobrik by turning it into something very special. We spent the evening customizing the table, and the plan is to pour this resin over it to preserve it forever. And then we'll add this custom engraving to it.
And these people weren't alone. So many people joined the line after them and waited all night just to be the first people in, and by the next day, the line spanned several blocks.
Guys, look at this. That's insane. And it keeps going. And it keeps going. And it keeps going.
The YouTuber, this is his name, Derek Dobrik. Dobrik, whatever. This is Dobrik Pizza. So this is brand new. All the little kiddies is out here trying to get them some Dobrik Pizza. Just check out how long this line is. Look how long this line is. This is going all the way down the Sunset Strip, and it just keeps going. It's just the people and the people and the people waiting for their Dobrik Pizza.
As for the pizza quality itself, so far a lot of the reviews have been pretty good.
It's been an hour. How do you feel?
Thirsty.
Hungry. It's officially hour 2. What are your thoughts?
Thirsty. Still.
Hungry. Still.
We finally got food, I think, at hour 5. We waited a total of 7 hours for the pizza, and the part that took the longest was honestly the lack of security, helping to navigate the line. David was taking a lot of pictures with everyone, which was super, super nice, but it definitely held up the line a little bit, to the point where some people were saying that the pizza was not worth the wait, but I definitely think it was. Overall, it was amazing.
I think we'll probably have to wait a few weeks until we get some more unbiased reviews, because anyone who's waiting in that line right now is probably there for David and not really the pizza. So I don't really expect these fans to say anything bad about David's pizza, even if they didn't like it. Overall, a lot of people were really surprised by the turnout David got and just how many fans showed up for him. As you guys know, these last few years haven't exactly been the best for David. From that insider article that came out about him, to the excavator accident with Jeff, and now him being in the middle of a lawsuit with Jeff. It's definitely a risky time to be opening a new business, especially since that business has his name attached to it. And we're already starting to see the downside of David's name being attached to his business. Only hours before the official opening, his store was tagged with the R word across the side, and he was caught with his friends trying to cover the word up with a tarp. And by the opening day, the word could still be seen across the side of the building. It looks like he had someone out to partially try and remove it, but clearly it's going to take a few applications because you could definitely still make out what the word said. But despite David's past 2 years and his current lawsuit with Jeff, he still managed to have a good turnout, and it has people wondering if David will be able to keep that going. It's one thing to start a new business and have this huge turnout on opening day, but keeping it going and having people return is another thing. There's so much more to running a successful food business, and David is either going to have to step up and run things himself or hire the right people to run it properly. It looks like David has a popular restaurant chain called Lemonade behind his brand, so hopefully it's a situation where David is just the face and the name of the store, and the experienced people backing him are the ones making the important decisions. There are still some skeptics who think Dobrik's won't last longer than a year.
My only point is that there's a lot more to the restaurant business than having a large following and a great product. A great product and a large following are like 5% of the equation. It is a solid location, but we'll see. We will see. I stand by what I say, 12 to 18 months, maybe a little bit short, or maybe put my neck on the line a little bit. But look, I just know what it takes to run a successful business over any length of time, so we'll see.
But I will say the one thing that David does have in his favor is the location. He's in a prime location right on Sunset Boulevard, directly across from Saddle Ranch. Since the store stays open until 3 a.m., I'm sure a lot of their business will be from people coming home from a night out and stopping in for pizza. In an interview with NBC, David said, "We would go out all the time at Saddle Ranch. Now we're open here until 3 a.m. Other places close. This will be the spot for our friends to come and eat and hang out." And you guys know Saddle Ranch is a really popular spot for influencers. During COVID, it was like the main meeting ground where all the new TikTokers who just found fame would go and have Hollywood Fix come out to interview them. I don't really see Dobrik's being like your family-friendly local pizza joint, mainly because of the location. There's hardly any parking anywhere, so it seems more like an after going out stop. David also has a place set up like a party. Every time you buy a pizza, you get this little token, and you can either trade it in for ice cream or put it in some music machine and have the same song played over and over again. All I can think about is the poor staff having to work there and listen to that song over and over and over again. A lot of people are also wondering if this is David's way of moving away from YouTube for good. He hasn't posted on his main channel in over 7 months, and he even stopped doing his podcast without mentioning anything. He never said he was taking a break, he never explained anything, he just left. Jason even went and started his own podcast, probably knowing that he'd be out of a job with David not posting. I thought he would have come back and did a vlog on opening day, but I haven't seen any videos of him with his vlog camera in his hand, so it looks like he might actually be done this time and following a path most big YouTubers go down. A lot of YouTubers have found success in going into the food business. We have Emma Chamberlain with her coffee, Jeffree Star with his yak meat, and most notable, Mr. Beast with his burger chain. Back in September, Mr. Beast opened his first actual in-person standalone restaurant, and it had a turnout of over 10,000 people. Mr. Beast even said they broke a world record, writing, "Our grand opening broke the world record for most burgers sold in a day by a single restaurant." So I'm thinking David is probably wanting to go down that path. He's been talking about moving on from YouTube. He says he feels like he's done everything there is to do. So I'm sure he's hoping that this takes off to the point where he can open multiple locations across the country. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Do you think David will stick with the pizza business and actually put in the effort to scale it to be a successful chain? Or do you think he'll be over it within a year? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.